Today's show is brought to you by Elon Musk, the proud owner of Twitter, SpaceX, and a shitload of Dogecoins. Remember, it's not free speech until Elon owns it. Today on the show, Elon Musk buys Twitter and everything else in the universe.
We discuss the Aussie locked up in an Iraq prison.
And we organise Anthony Albanese, a massage with a happy ending.
All that and more on Bad Boys Podcast. If you want the hard-hitting journalism of Four Corners, the reliable current affairs of, well, a current affair, and the planning that goes into classy shows like The Project, then you've tuned into the wrong podcast. It's comedy, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and news stories that makes Fox News sound like an episode of The Muppets. Or maybe it's the other way around. Conversations no one wants to have, but everyone wants to hear. This is the Bad Boys Podcast. Welcome to the Bad Boys Podcast, and happy dance, Elon Musk has bought Twitter.
Yeah, he has. Twitter have accepted his offer of, I don't know, what is it, $52 something a share, $42 billion US deal.
Yeah.
And Elon seems quite pleased.
Andrew, I thought you would have been right there with the waving the checkbook before him.
Right. He managed to secure the funds. I think he's borrowed somewhere to the tune of about $27 billion.
Jesus.
Could you imagine the interest payments on that shit?
I'm trying to figure out how something can be worth that much, that is in cyberspace. It doesn't actually exist, right?
Do anything, right. I totally get it.
What is the purpose of Twitter?
Well, and of course, Tesla, which is also owned by Elon Musk, is the most shorted stock in human history, right? So which means people have been effectively betting by putting their money on the fact that the price of the stock will go down, but it's only really ever gone up.
Right.
So a lot of people have lost a lot of money betting against Elon. But this Twitter thing seems to be kind of ramping up. A lot of people have been bailing out of Twitter. Yeah. And I bet you they're all bloody Democrats too. I bet you they're Democrat voters and they're bailing out of Twitter because they're upset that their little hold on what is, truth or not is suddenly beginning to unravel.
Well, so 2 years ago, when the whole COVID vaccination thing sort of started, Bill Gates was the one that everyone just sort of targeted on social media, right? You know, Bill Gates is doing this and doing that and, rah, rah, rah. Now it's shifted to Elon Musk. Did you know that Elon Musk wants to put a chip inside everyone's head? Did you know that Elon Musk is actually part of the Illuminati? Did you know that Elon Musk, was responsible for Pizzagate? I mean, like it's just crazy.
All the whack jobs come out in a big way.
It's crazy. I mean, look, I understand that there's reservations. My biggest reservation is that the platform that was originally built for freedom of speech is now owned by a billionaire, and people are saying, "Oh, great, now it can be free speech," but it's owned by a millionaire. I mean,
I know. And look, the whole funny thing is, I saw a CNN article. And the whole article is about people are concerned that Twitter might actually become a platform of free speech.
Yeah.
And, the only people that are concerned, it's not the Republicans in America, it's the Democrats in America, because they've figured out a way that they can control what people should see and what is truth and what are facts. They've managed to control it. And suddenly they're suddenly thinking, hold on a second, actual truth might actually be told. And we don't want people actually hearing real truth. We only want them to hear our truth.
When you say actual truth, do you mean like QAnon truth? Or
Yeah, right. Well, see, the whole question is, what is the truth and who gets to decide what is truth or not? I mean, if we relied on our governments to decide on what is truth or not, honestly, humanity would be down the toilet. I mean, could you imagine ScoMo being the person who decides what is truth in Australia? Because jumping yowza, we'd be in a whole world of pain.
Because he can't say anything that's true. Everything he says is an absolute lie.
Right. Well, because he says it, he thinks it's truth. Like, it's the most just ridiculous kind of setup. Like, none of the politicians can lie straight in bed.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so where is this going to end for Elon Musk? I mean, like, he's taking over the world, right?
Right. And look, you know what? Hey, if I had that much money, I'd probably want to take over the world too. The funny thing is, during the week, after Twitter, the board of Twitter, the directors of Twitter had said, yes, we will accept your takeover offer.
Yeah.
Right? The next day he woke up and the first thing he tweeted was, now that I own Twitter, I'm deleting it. Enjoy your lives.
That would have just set everyone in a spin.
Oh, absolutely, because people didn't know whether it was true or not or what was going on, right? So then, of course, he then tweets tomorrow or the next day, he tweeted, today I buy Facebook and I'm deleting that too. Right. And it gets better. It gets better and better and better. Then he goes, next I'm buying Coca-Cola and I'm going to put the cocaine back in.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'd be buying Coca-Cola if it had actually real cocaine in it again. I mean, tell you what, I'd be setting up an intravenous drip. Could you imagine how high you'd be with all that caffeine, all that sugar and all that cocaine? If anything's going to, I reckon that'd cause more heart attacks than the COVID vaccine.
I reckon.
And anyway, someone said, can you buy the McDonald's and fix all the ice cream machines? And his response to that was, listen, I can't do miracles, okay? But there's also been, he's also come out and said, basically, he is going to piss off both the left and the right equally.
How do you do that?
So, because people have been saying, you're going to make this free speech thing, you're going to piss off the left, or the right, or whichever it is. And he's going, no, I'm going to be pissing everybody off equally. But it's just, I find it this really funny thing. Like, it's like this world has been created that some days I feel like I woke up from a 20-year coma, and the world around us is suddenly a world where we no longer have responsibility for our own actions or thoughts, right?
Yeah.
What we say and what we do is no longer our responsibility. It's someone else's fault.
Yeah.
And I find it hilarious. It's like everybody's complaining, oh, this person, blah, blah, blah. It's their fault that my life is unhappy, or that, it's just, it's like, God help us.
I just find it really amusing that like there's so much division when it comes to someone like Elon Musk. And he's a guy that I feel that he doesn't take himself too seriously.
Yeah, I agree with that, actually. I reckon, I think he takes a lot of things seriously, but I don't think he takes himself all that seriously. No. Like, he sold all his property. He apparently couch surfs with friends, so he doesn't actually own a home. He doesn't rent a home.
Really?
Yep. Really?
Are you sure his name's not Anna Delphi?
Yeah, right. But he apparently had in one of the SpaceX complexes, like where the launch pad or something like that, he had a little tiny home delivered.
Oh.
Which is a self-sustaining tiny home. And I think he's actually evaluating it to bring it into the Tesla fold, so Tesla could create these self-sustaining tiny homes.
Well, how big is it?
And modern and blah, blah, blah. Yep.
Like, it's just a little room. So he put a room inside a room.
A room with a shower and a shitter and a couch and a bed, like, and I think a kitchen sink or something. Like, it's he literally, he doesn't own anything. All these people jumping up going, oh, billionaires make me sick and stuff because they've got a lot of money and they're flamboyantly spending it. It's like, well, Elon doesn't.
No. So where are you sleeping tonight, Elon? I might sleep in my rocket.
Yeah, well, he goes off and he sleeps in the factory.
Wow.
He spends most of his time sleeping in the factory, apparently.
That's probably because, well, actually, the reason is he doesn't sleep and he's actually a robot.
Right, I think, an alien robot, absolutely.
That's right.
Well, he doesn't stop working. So his life, the way he sees it, is work from the moment he wakes up to the moment he goes to sleep. And that's why he lives and spends so much time in the factories. And like he made a comment the other day that he knows every single little part in the Tesla. He knows how it's made. He knows where it goes and why. And he said, mate, if you spend 16 to 20 hours a day in the factory, you would too.
You know, so you kind of wonder with all of this whether he's got any sort of, you know, level of mental health, because to be honest, right, you got to have a bed, you got to have a house, really, don't you? I mean, otherwise you're homeless.
I think he's
right?
proving you don't.
Well,
I mean, I do personally. I like my home. I like my garden. It makes me feel good. You know, I like my wall out the front. I like the private road and the gate that says fuck off. You know, it works for me.
Well, you know, he's made some very outrageous comments, right, which kind of makes you question his grip on reality, I suppose you could say.
Right.
So he actually came out in a conference and said that human beings potentially exist in a video game.
Yes, simulation theory.
Right. So he believes in simulation theory, which is Matrix, right?
Ultimately speaking, yes. And his justification for that was, at the moment, look at computer games, right? Look at how far computer games have come in the last 10 to 20 years. Well, at least in my time frame of, you know, let's say 25 years, it has gone from a D-cell LED screen, LCD, I think, or little diodes, Space Invaders that might be handheld. You might go the old Nintendo flip-up Game Boys with Oil Panic and Donkey Kong.
Game Watch,
Right, so we've gone from that through the arcade era and everything to personal computers to gaming consoles. And now, if you look, for instance, the latest games coming out of the super high definition or the 8000K gaming consoles, it's so close to reality. The quality of the graphics and the movement and all that sort of stuff.
See,
so
that makes
his
sense.
thought is, if we can get there in 20 years, what can an advanced civilization like humans in 10,000 years or whatever beyond who come back? I don't know. I don't think he said that they live on the other side of the moon and they monitor us, but the thought process is, if we can do that in 20 years, then surely the possibility of life being a computer-based simulation is entirely possible.
Yes, and that actually, that theory kind of makes sense because, you know, my family think that I'm a sim, so I possibly could actually be in a simulation.
Well, yes. Anybody who's met you probably realizes that you're a bit of a sim. Absolutely.
Now, he also believes in the colonization of Mars to the point where he actually put a conceptual framework together on how it could actually work, right?
Yes. And, of course, everything about SpaceX is actually about getting humans to Mars safely.
Yes. Yes. In 2016, someone asked him a question as to whether you are an alien, whether you're crazy, whether you're a genius. And he said, well, no, I'm not an alien, but I used to be one.
Nice.
He then created, and this is, again, on Twitter, and this is why he loves Twitter so much, right? He created a fake bankruptcy thread for Tesla. Now, okay, I just think about this, right? This was an April Fool's joke. This was an April Fool's Day prank. It was on the 1st of April 2018. And he said, despite intense efforts to raise money, including a last-ditch mass sale of Easter eggs, we're sad to report that Tesla has gone completely and totally bankrupt. So bankrupt you can't believe it. Now, I'm just going to put this out there, right? If I was a shareholder of Tesla, or if I, you know, at that point, I'm just like, fuck, my life's over. I may as well just be like, go and live under a bridge somewhere, right?
Right. So a couple of questions come out of that. How many people topped themselves as a result of that tweet? But also, how many people then sued him as a result of that tweet?
Right? So, like,
they would have been lining out
a little crazy, right? He also suggested that an AI could become the permanent dictator of humans.
Right.
Now,
interesting.
I mean, Terminator, anyone? Not sure.
Yeah.
He thinks he has said that he has claimed he is building a cyborg dragon.
Nice.
Pretty good.
Okay.
He has said that...
did he call it Drogo?
Drogo. He's comparing Ford and Tesla. He thinks that Ford is like a morgue, which I kind of can't. I mean, I'm not really a massive Tesla fan myself. Are you?
No, look, I'm not a Tesla car fan. I am a fan of the vision. I am a fan of the fact that he's made electric cars kind of sexy. I am not a fan of things like Ford, right, Holden, Chrysler, all that sort of stuff. I think they are the most boring cars on the planet. I think they're outdated. By default, they make Tesla cool.
Yes.
Because they're so fucking sad.
Yeah. Well,
so
yeah, I just can't. I know I should be thinking about the planet, but at what cost? Because
yeah, but there's other ways to think about the planet. And look, yes, burning
fossil fuels,
carbon-based fuels, creates a lot of problems for the planet. Digging all of the minerals out of the ground to create electric cars also, I think, will create a lot of problems for the planet. The question is which evil is worth? I mean, look, I drive a BMW M6.
Oh, that's really
that thing
bad.
Loves premium-based fuel. As far as I'm concerned, I'm doing a service to the world because everybody gets to watch me zoom past.
Well, I drive a Mini, and that's a service to the world as well.
Right. Yes. But at least people know you're not overcompensating, and I more than likely am. But look, thinking about Elon Musk buying everything, is there anything you would like him to buy so he can fix it up? No, like buying Coke and putting the cocaine back in?
No, I'm actually interested in hearing your thoughts on it because
okay, so
you've put a lot of thought into this, I can tell.
I have, yes. I've got to say, this is one of the few discussion points in Bad Boys podcast this year that I've actually done some prep work for. I'd love him to bring back tabletop arcade games in cafes.
Yes.
Or even in bars. I'd just love to sit down and play a few, have a few
pinball
beers
machines
and stuff
too.
like that, slowly get worse.
Well,
right.
Like the old style pinball machine. Like
Yeah. The coffee table ones with the glass
retro,
so thick that you can...
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Even with modern games in there, but just the look and feel of it, I just really liked. In fact, I had one in the games room here for many years with 2,500, retro games on it. It was great.
I saw a pinball machine with that same thing where a computer screen appeared with a replica of the old pinball games, like The Flash and all that sort of stuff. And I just kind of thought to myself, it's just not the same. I mean,
No, I don't think it'll work for pinball because pinball's such a physical thing.
No, and even the retro game tabletops. I mean, to have one, like the joy of it was the same game for 3 years that you played, right? And you got fucking good at it.
Well, the one thing I noticed in having that one of those, multiple game retro tabletops is I'm still as shit at Ghosts and Goblins as I was back then. Hey, one other thing I'd love him to buy. I'd love him to buy Borders bookstores and bring back bookstores with big coffee shops inside them.
Yeah, but the problem is no one reads the physical books anymore.
Oh, no, but I'm a bit of a picture book guy. I
think it'll come back. Picture book, well, so you don't have to understand that, you don't have to read the words.
Right, no, that's right. And I'm talking garden picture books before all your dirty minds start running wild and sit there that I'm pulling out all of the Playboys.
See, I enjoy
and all the porn books.
Comic.
What?
Just comics. I like comics.
Oh, comics in general. Yeah, right. Okay, you can sit there and flick through them all and stuff like that and not actually buy them, but buy coffee and, and Danishes.
That pause was just a little bit too long there, actually. But anyway, yeah.
Oh, right. Buy all different types of things from the supermarket and bring them back to their original sizes. So, cornettos.
Right.
Have you noticed that cornettos are as tiny as fuck? I reckon give it another 10 years and they're going to be literally the size of a thimble, right? I remember cornettos being big. Buffalo Bills as well.
Yeah.
They are so small nowadays.
They've just shrunk them down.
They've shrunk them down because it saves them money and they can charge the same amount. Wagon wheels.
Wagon wheels.
I don't know about you, but I remember wagon wheels looking like dinner plates.
Yes.
And now they're the size of a little shot glass.
Now, hey, talking about changes to things like chocolate and that, did you hear about Snickers?
No. What's going on with Snickers?
The company decided that they were going to remove what has become known as the dick vein, right, on the top of the Snickers bar.
The Snickers bar, yeah. It's like a vein that runs up. And
everyone was going nuts about it until finally Snickers actually had to put up a post on Twitter saying, we have changed our mind, the Dick Vane is staying.
Because they did remove it temporarily for a period of time, and the Snickers bar was smooth on top. It was bloody wrong.
They removed it. And it made it smooth. Yeah, it was like a Brazilian. It was like...
Wow, so they've actually backed down. They've gone back to the Dick Vane.
Back down, and they actually refer to it as the Dick Vane as well. So it's not just bad boys just, being crass.
I've never been a big Snickers bar eater, but when I saw that and I saw the post and it said the Dick Vane, I went, oh, my God. I can't unsee that now.
Now you realise that suddenly for years you've been eating a chocolate dick for, at the expense of their laughter,
Well, now I'm just going to have to stop deep throating it and gagging all the time. It's just, it's just wrong.
At least the nuts were still included in there anyway. They never took them out.
No, well, thank God for that. Hey, one last thing. Do you remember Sunny Boys?
Yes.
They were the kind of triangular, funny-shaped frozen orange juice.
They were always awkward to eat and they were...
Impossible to eat, but they tasted so goddamn good. And they've disappeared off the shelves now. But before they disappeared, they also got smaller and smaller and smaller. So I want him to buy Sunny Boy, the company or whatever, and bring him back, whoever owns Sunny Boy.
So most of the stuff that you've been talking about Elon Musk bringing back is food-based.
Yes.
Right. Well, what about, let's go with cars. I want someone to bring back the Cortina.
Oh,
what a classic car.
Yeah, look, the Cortina was pretty epic, I must admit. I would probably go for the Ferrari Testarossa, mid-'80s. Bring back the Ferrari Testarossa.
Like BMW Mini, Ferrari Cortina. Wow, I'm really undercompensating, aren't I?
It's funny, when Michelle and I got together, because Michelle was raised in a house with two wonderful parents who went through, the Great Depression, right? So they... were very mindful of how they spent their money, right? So she was raised in a house where mum made all of the clothes for the kids, and they just didn't spend money unnecessarily ever. So she was raised in what we refer to as a poverty consciousness, where she thought in hundreds. But when she met me, she suddenly realised I met a guy that doesn't think in hundreds, that thinks in millions. And I just always have. Even in my job, I work with large-scale contracts and stuff like that are worth hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions of dollars. So to me, it's not because I'm worth millions, because I'm not, but it's just the way that my mind thinks. So it was something that we both had to adjust to, because suddenly I'm going, I don't mind spending money on that, and I don't mind spending money on that, because to me it was an insignificant amount of money. Despite the fact it might be all the money I actually had, if you know what I mean. Like, I'd happily go bankrupt.
Yeah.
In my pursuit of, getting something. But she was, no, we need to be more mindful of our money. And it was just a very, very big adjustment period.
Well, why weren't you in the running for Twitter then? Because
I didn't even know it was for sale. And as it turns out, neither did Twitter. But I wouldn't know what to do with bloody Twitter anyway. Like, seriously. And two, if I had $46 billion or whatever it is, $44 billion, I sure as hell wouldn't be buying fucking Twitter.
I'd be buying anything that's not social media.
Right. I'd be helping build homeless shelters all over the country, make sure my family are all taken care of for generations to come. All this sort of jumping houses.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we're going to be back with more Bad Boys. We've got heaps to get through today. Stick around. You're listening to the Bad Boys podcast. If you like your nuts being gently cupped by an angel, then Man Up Down Under are the duds for you. Environmentally friendly with bamboo inserts that are soft, strong, and lifts your weight with ease. Longer in the legs so they stay put. They're cool in summer and warmer when it matters. Man Up Down Under, underwear your girl will want to see you in and that you won't want to take off. Go to manupdownunder.com.au and buy a week's supply for your package, because your junk deserves the very best. This is the Bad Boys Podcast.
Welcome back to the Bad Boys Podcast, mate. We've got to talk about it. We've got to get it out into the air. The world has to know. I heard a story.
Oh.
A little bird told me something.
Mm-hmm.
And that little bird told me that you're going legit radio.
I am going legit radio, yes.
Legit. None of this bad boys, dodgy ass podcast stuff.
Yes, no, I am. I'm joining the ranks of LAFM, and just for any Americans, don't get too excited. It's not Los Angeles. It's Launceston in Tasmania. A little bit, just slightly smaller.
Oh wow!
I'm actually pretty excited to be joining. Moving to the ARN network. With the Australian Radio Network. Before that, currently, I've been with Oz Stereo. And
that's right. They're Southern Cross Oz Stereo. That's right. And they own, Channel 7 and a few other things.
They own like, Triple M and Hit Network and a lot of regional TV stations. And
that's where you've been doing some of your day jobs.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Now, I was, and I wasn't on TV or anything like that. I was, out there, selling advertising, and I didn't realize until I was sort of packing my stuff up and finishing that the new girl that was starting said I need to talk to IT and
call the help desk.
Need to call the help desk, right. And the one of the tech guys at Channel 7 said, "Oh, just ring 1300 dumbfuck." And I thought, wow, that's really rude. Like, you don't talk to a new girl like that. She's only 24. She'll be running.
Right, give the girl a break.
Oh my God.
She's new.
It turns out, for the last 6 months I've been working there, that the numbers on the help desk actually spell out DUMFUK.
So 1300 386 385.
Yes. Dumb fuck. Now, I'm just sitting there thinking some geek, when they're putting it together, has gone, "Oh, I've got a great idea for a number. Let's do this." Right?
What a legacy to leave behind.
It's one of those jokes that they will never ever hear the laughter, but they just know it's going to happen.
Oh, that's so good. That is awesome. That has got to be the best help desk number in the world.
Absolutely. 1300 dumb fuck. So, if you need help with anything, even if it's not Oz Stereo, just give it a call.
Yeah, that's right.
Because, they'll be able to help you out.
Tell them you work for Oz Stereo. They're not going to know any different.
Yeah, that's right. Because, at the end of the day, it's just a dumb fuck.
That's great. And, of course, that's the attitude of people on help desks as well. They think everybody who calls a complete dumb fuck.
Oh, God, here we go again.
You're right.
What do you want? Have you turned it off and on again? Oh, there you go. It works.
God, it's so good. I started my career. I left uni and stuff like that and started my career actually proper working on a help desk, an IT help desk for an insurance company. This was back in 95. And I very quickly realised that the dumb fucks weren't on the other end of the line. The dumb fuck was the one answering the calls, e.g. me, because I realised very quickly that technology and me, we never been really much friends, and still to this day, I still have no fucking idea, despite working in the IT sector for 25 odd years.
Yeah, like have you pressed the little button, the red one? Oh, is it red? I don't know. I know it's the one. It's the one with the microphone on it. That'll make it work.
Is it plugged in?
Is it plugged in? Wow.
1300 dumb fuck. That is so bloody good.
So coming to a radio station near you. Well, if you're in Launceston, that's where you'll hear me. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
so, okay,
really
so we're expecting a massive exodus out of Tasmania in the next 12 to 18 months. So house prices in Launceston are about to bottom out. I think I might go down there and buy up some real estate.
Why not? Hey, now, speaking of dodgy jobs, right. And I'm not saying that me moving to radio is a dodgy job. Thanks, Andrew.
But you're moving from a dodgy job, which is Bad Boys FM.
Now, there's a guy that and this is actually a serious. Let's put our serious hats on for a minute. This this is a real story. There's a guy that by the name of Robert Pether who has been over in Dubai working for a company over in Dubai. In April last year, the company that he's working for sent him to Iraq, okay,
Right.
because his employer was overseeing the construction of the central bank of Iraq, right? So he got sent over to the headquarters, the central bank in Iraq. He was arrested. 12 Iraqi police officers barged into the meeting with the governor of the central bank.
Right.
I don't know whether the governor knew anything about it, but Mr. Pether and the Egyptian colleague that he was with, Khalid, were both arrested and found guilty of deception charges.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Now, I mean, there's a whole report about this, but basically the company that he was working for had a bit of a dispute happening with the central bank. And the embassy just went, okay, no reason for concern. It's all okay. But because he was a representative of that company and he went into Iraq, they thought, we're going to take him and we're going to make a show of him. Now, he's an Australian guy. His wife is completely distraught.
He's been there a while now as well, hasn't he?
Yep, since August last year.
Wow.
They've been fined $16 million, slapped with a 5-year jail sentence, right? He's a mechanical engineer and he's being held in a game of, he's a pawn in a game of chess between Iraq.
Oh, so they've grabbed him in the hope to exchange him for something else.
Correct. He can't even believe that he is there, right? He can't even believe it happened. When he was arrested, he was put into a 2x2 meter cell with only a carpet to sleep on, the lights constantly on.
Yeah.
People have actually interviewed him and he refuses to talk about this. It's too traumatic. But he endured torture while he was there. Some sources have suggested that, he was shown torture rooms, blindfolded, insulted and screamed at. By the time he got out of his 12 days detention, right?
Yeah.
He was dehydrated massively because he had no access to water.
Far out.
He was forced to remain wearing the suit that he was arrested in for 12 days. He'd lost 15 kilos.
Yep.
And now he's in prison. Now, this is something that I know it's hard for Australia to step in and, the guy was working in Dubai, for goodness sake. You know what I mean?
Right.
But don't you think that there is a point where Australia could step in and go, we want to do an exchange, or what can we do to get him out?
Right. And so the question, okay, so we're making a couple of assumptions that Australia hasn't tried to do anything, but I wouldn't be surprised if they haven't. And the reason why I say that is we only have diplomatic relationships with some countries, right? I know America went into Iraq to depose Saddam Hussein and put their own people in there and stuff like that to run the show and all that sort of thing. But the question is there something the Australian government can do, and are they trying to do something? Because I would suggest there probably isn't, and they're not. And the reason why I say that is because, remember, there's this lovely old case called Julian Assange?
Yes.
The Australian government has done jack shit, absolute nothing for an Australian citizen that has been persecuted for well over a decade now, as a journalist sharing information he was given that any other journalist, in fact, other journalists did share, and nothing happened to them. So it's, look, unfortunately, this is becoming all too common. I think they call it a diplomatic hostage.
Yep.
Where they take the hostage in the hope that they can actually, swap them out for someone else.
Yeah, wow.
I personally think it's disgusting. I think it is the gutter of all diplomacy. And honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if Australia has no say in the matter whatsoever.
Yeah. So, you know what, we really feel for his family and what what his wife's going through. I mean, man, that just would be so tough.
Right.
So tough. So watch this space. We will be back with more Bad Boys. In fact, we're going to talk to a politician after this.
Yeah, we're going to organise a few things.
And there's a reason for it too.
Yeah.
We'll be back with more Bad Boys podcast right after this.
You ever been cruising down the main street with your mates only to be laughed at by the gorgeous girls passing you by? Well, maybe you need to get your own ride and leave your mum's Camry at home. Turning your cruising dreams into a reality has never been easier than it is now with Iconic Motorhouse. Regular draws, limited numbers, and access to special and unique deals from over 4,500 popular brands. They don't do Camrys, they only give away real men's cars, eye-catching cars that'll get them purring like a pussycat. So don't be a turkey, go to iconicmotorhouse.com, choose how many tickets you want, and for a limited time, they'll increase your odds. It's never been easier to win a customised showpiece that will get their attention. iconicmotorhouse.com, giving you the opportunity to fulfill your motoring fantasy.
This is the Bad Boys Podcast. Welcome back to the Bad Boys Podcast. And our leaders, what can you say?
Oh, look, I tell you what, this election is getting funnier and funnier and funnier. If it's not been, sitting there with a hand on my forehead just going, oh, my God, I can't believe how fucking stupid these leaders are, particularly when they openly lie about something and then they are confronted with it and say, no, I didn't actually openly lie about it. So they lie about not lying about something they lied about.
And they're kind of sabotaging themselves, really, aren't they? I mean, they don't need the opposition doing any sort of, smear campaign because they just have to open their mouths.
Yep.
Or,
that's right. Yeah,
as in the case of Anthony Albanese, take a photo.
Right. Okay. But even before we get to that, of course, that's what Albanese's been doing all along. He's just been keeping his mouth shut, knowing full well that ScoMo's digging himself a hole bigger and bigger and bigger. As it turns out, you can't run an electric campaign with keeping your mouth shut. Exactly, and Albanese, despite the fact he was in hiding for 7 days because he apparently tested positive for COVID, which personally I'm not too sure about. I think he was just regathering.
It's just they've said some nasty things about me. What do I do? I know. Say you've got COVID.
And hide.
Hide for a little bit, yeah. So
there was a photo about a dog.
But before that, I mean, even his name, right?
Right.
We talked about this last week.
Yep.
ScoMo, Scott Morrison, right?
Yes.
Anthony Albanese, anal.
Right. It's a
there in black
proven way of working out the shortened name of a politician.
Yes, exactly. So he decides to put a photo up on Twitter, and it's him getting healthy, walking his dog in the park. Oh look, here's me and my dog. What he failed to remember is this is gold. What he failed to remember was that his dog has a name tag, and on the name tag is Anthony Albanese's phone number.
Right.
Please return if lost, in a photo on Twitter, which he since has removed because...
But I'm sure everybody's grabbed screenshots of by now.
Well, we managed to get hold of the phone number. What do you reckon? Do you reckon we give him a call and...
Yeah, why not? And ask how he's doing. Check out how the dog's going as well. I'm hoping the dog's not too upset about having its photo taken without permission.
Yeah, all right. Well, let's ring him and we'll see what he has to say. Hopefully he'll answer. No one's home?
Oh, I wouldn't be answering either, I don't think, if it was made public.
There you go. He's obviously not answering his calls anymore.
Fair enough, too.
I mean, how funny is that? How
you know what
funny
I
is
think?
that?
I think we should do. I think we should reach out to the guys as a show of good faith after last week's episode. You know, it kind of went a bit viral.
Yes.
And I think everybody's now calling him anal, and I'm feeling really bad about that. So
Oh, really?
I think we should organise for the opposition leader to, you know, have an Anthony Albanese massage. There is an organisation actually based out of Sydney that actually does Anthony Albanese massages, which predominantly involves the prostate, believe it or not.
Right.
So we could organise him an Anthony Albanese massage for his campaign trail, just to release some of the pressure that might be feeling. You know, he might be feeling some of the stress. What do you think about that?
I think that's a great idea. I mean, I can certainly see how you know, how it would release the stress.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. A good prostate massage. I mean, I reckon probably ScoMo could probably do with one as well, for that matter. He could probably do with a bit of a release.
Maybe we should give them a call and find out what they can help him with.
If you want, sure.
So are we giving Anthony a massage, or are we giving ScoMo a massage?
I think an Anthony Albanese massage is definitely more appropriate.
For ScoMo.
Sure. Sure.
Okay. It's actually the same ringtone.
Well, aren't they all the same ringtone?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
They don't pick up. We'll have to leave a message.
Hello.
Hello?
Yeah. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. We're from the Bad Boys podcast.
CBD High Market.
Sorry?
CBD High Market.
CBD High Market.
Yeah.
Oh, you're in the CBD Haymarket.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we wanted to find out a little bit more about the prostate massages.
Yeah.
Do you do that at Haymarket?
Yeah.
In the stalls, just with everyone watching? Behind the counter.
Yeah, well, that's a good place.
Great.
You coming?
No.
Does she do them for?
Do you do them for politicians? Yeah. Oh, obviously not.
Right.
Well, there you go. Well,
As it turns out,
she
draws the line at politicians.
There you go. So
Mention politician and it's like, nope.
See you later. So if you want one, right, go to Haymarket, behind the counter apparently, but don't show your politician badge.
Don't tell you. Fuck me. Behind the counter.
Behind the counter. Okay, just duck down here.
Fuck me. That's so good. Now, just to clarify, Haymarket is a place, as in a suburb in Sydney. You're probably thinking of Paddy's Market.
I was thinking of Paddy's
so
Market.
there's not like a T-shirt stall and then a funny face mask store and then a prostate massage
That's
counter.
what I was thinking of.
Oh, that's so good.
I just had these visions in my mind, just like walking past the stall and it's like, hello.
Right. I wonder if they have different lubricant bottles. We could create a range of different types of lubricant that would be named after the different politicians.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So the ScoMo lubricant bottle is a bit rough, sandy.
We'll tell you that we love you, but we don't really.
Right, that's right. Yeah.
We're
that's
just lying.
Right. Oh, you could have some fun with that one.
You could. What about the Barnaby Joyce massage?
Yeah, wow, the Barnaby Joyce massage. What would that be involved in? I think you'd
Involve big red
have
tomatoes.
to do that with a staff member, wouldn't you?
No,
do
that's
that with your receptionist?
That's the Christian Porter massage.
Yeah. I don't think she was a staff member though, was she? Or maybe she was.
I thought
think
she
it
was
a friend.
Yeah. I thought she was.
Allegedly.
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 Well, there you go. If you want Anthony Albanese's phone number, just look on the internet because, the guy's a bit of a tool.
Yeah.
What can you say?
Far out.
Unbelievable. Now, coming up this week on the show, Wednesday, we have Sean Dowdle from Grey Days.
Nice
is
one.
joining us on the show.
It was a great chat. Just fabulous. Can't wait for you to hear it.
Sensational. And also some other fantastic interviews coming up. We've got an interview with Ian Baker from Jesus Jones. So looking forward to that. Love those guys. I think they're just absolutely amazing. And we just keep an eye out because we've got a few other little interviews that are planned as well. We've got our fingers crossed. We're asking for an interview with Susie Quattro.
Oh, rock on. I tell you what.
That would be amazing.
Of all the bad boys of rock, Susie showed them all up.
That's right. She was the baddest and she was a girl.
Right, too bloody right. And bloody good on it too.
I still remember, I don't know whether you remember, but there was an episode of Happy Days where she appeared in it with the Fonz.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
She was big in her day. Like, she was literally probably the biggest rock star of that era.
The Queen of Rock.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt, yeah.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So, and we've got a lot of other interviews in the mixes at the moment, waiting for confirmations and stuff. So when they start to take off and everything like that, we'll let you know more.
Yes, absolutely. Now, make sure you, to keep up with the latest news, head over to our Facebook or our Instagram, which is Official Bad Boys Podcast, and TikTok, The Bad Boys Podcast.
And don't forget badboysfm.com for all of the music with attitude worldwide, anytime you need it. badboysfm.com. Go check it out.
Thanks, guys. See you later.
Take it easy.
Press plus or follow to hear more great episodes from the Bad Boys. Or check us out on our social media at Official Bad Boys Podcast on both Facebook and Instagram.